And looked at Baltimore, and they thought, just like they thought about Jerusalem and Jesus, what good thing could come out of Jerusalem? Well, we got good things that came out of the Valley.
That was my party.
We got people who, you know, are even looking at their houses on and showing them off while they, you know what I mean?
Retirement party.
Very nice.
And that's the retirement party they're discussing.
What is it?
And that's all beautiful.
Carrera 4S.
Carrera. Very nice.
Well, let me ask you one thing before you guys leave us. What high school, elementary school did you go to?
I went to 85.
And you too?
85.
Did you have a favorite teacher?
Yes. My Uncle Doug.
Well, let's talk about that. Your Uncle Doug?
My uncle was,
His name was what?
his name was John Douglas.
John Douglas.
Taught 6th grade.
For 6th grade?
And I got plenty of coke whippings in the coke room.
Now, a little bit about John. Was he in politics at all?
Yes, he was. He was a state senator, and his brother, who was Robert Douglas, was a state senator as well. So both of them were in politics. And there's rumor that because my mother's maiden name is Douglas, that Frederick Douglass is a descendant of ours, but I haven't done the research yet.
Have you noticed how pretty his teeth are?
Well, Cadillac grills come in different shades and sizes, baby. My wife says that all the time. This is a good
I'm not
interview.
flirting. Please,
And she's still rolling
please
the
let
tape.
you know. To his wife, I'm not flirting with them. I'm just.
Too late now.
I'm just saying.
Doreen, it's too late now.
I'm not
Look,
pushing
Doreen, I tried to change the subject.
I'm not pushing up on your man. I'm just saying.
This was
It's gonna be on
excellent.
YouTube in 2 minutes.
I'm just saying.
Now let me tell you something about our Robin.
I am
Our Robin
one
is
of the Baileys from Edison Highway. I grew up in a good neighborhood. I have many, many childhood memories, and one of my big memories is walking across the hill from one point to the other, the hill which was between Elwood and Potomac, how I thought that was just so enormous. That was like a big thing for us to walk from one side to the other. And now when I look at it, it's so small. But as a child, it was like a big deal. But in addition to that, God has truly blessed me, and I will be moving to Chicago in January of 2013. I'm very excited about this opportunity for me. I think it will
what's
be
the company you work with?
Well, I initially started at Constellation Energy doing employee benefits, and it was purchased by another company, which is Exelon, which is headquartered in Chicago. So they offered me a job opportunity there, and so I just see it as a wonderful opportunity, and the Lord just opened another door for me. And so I'm very excited about the opportunity, but also I'll be missing the people that I've grown up around and grown to love, because I'll be leaving everything and everybody that I've known for all of 40-some years. But certainly I will be back. Baltimore is
She
my
was just
home.
a baby. That's a few years ago.
And I love it. I mean, it's gotten a bad rap from TV shows such as The Wire and Homicide, but Baltimore is a very lovely place, and I'm proud of it and proud to be from it.
Well, thank you very much, Robin Bailey, for stopping by and seeing us. And blessings to you and your trip to
Thank you.
your relocation.
Thank you so much.
And we will stop by and see you.
All right.
All right?
I'm
You
counting
take care.
on that now.
All right. Well,
All right,
leave
then.
it alone. See you later.
Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. What's going on, Dickie?
Yeah, I'm waiting, Go ahead.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. Now, let me tell you guys. You met Kim. This is Rich.
Ready? Yes, sir. Okay. Okay, we have two longtime friends from the east side, Harold Baidoom and Maurice Conway. And we're going to talk to them a little bit about their experiences growing up in East Baltimore and particularly in the Valley. So let me start with Harold. Harold, did you have a nickname when you were growing up?
I didn't have a nickname.
No nickname?
You know, I was nothing but a nerd when I grew up. But you know what? Coming through the Valley has prepared me, in my view, to do a lot of very positive things throughout life. You know, if there's one thing that I could say, it's just that when we were talking about this earlier, it was like, what do you say to somebody? And in my view, the phrase would be there and back again. You came from the Valley, you left, and you came back. And when you do that, it just makes it all come together. You know, having family, having friends, and having people like Kevin and the other people on the committee, it's what it's all about. Thank you so much for the opportunity to let you guys know how I feel about it. Thank you.
Now, Maurice, I know you had a nickname. What was it? And I have the privilege of interviewing a special friend. This is my brother here. We grew up together, did everything together, played football together. We did it all together. So I'm going to ask my brother, Daryl Spicer, a couple questions. Then I'm going to ask him to talk about the Valley a little bit. Daryl, did you have a nickname when we were growing up?
No, I really didn't have too much of a nickname. They just called me Daryl Spicy.
Okay.
Some people call me Spidley.
Spidley Spice.
Yeah, you know, that's about it. Though.
Where'd you live? What was your address, Daryl?
I used to live on 1501 Decker Avenue on the corner, Oliver and Decker.
Decker Avenue, where they grew athletes. Daryl, tell us about one of your fondest memories of growing up in the Valley.
Well, one of my fondest memories was growing up, and it really wasn't a whole lot of places for us to really play. And I think that had us getting really rough around the edges. We used to go play football over at Law Baltimore Press. And the field wasn't flat. It had an angle.
It was a hill.
You know what I mean? It was basically we was playing on a hill, you know what I mean? But that was like one of my fondest memories growing up in the Valley, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, it was more or less like a family type of atmosphere. Everybody in the Valley was like family, man. You know, everybody looked out for each other, you know.
Yeah.
But there's a few fond memories. If I could really go back and had the time, man, you know, man, I really could tell you some stories about that Valley, man, you know.
Yeah, the Valley was a special place, and Daryl and I, like I said, we did a lot together, and the story he's telling about Lord Baltimore Press is the truth. It was a hill, but we learned to play ball there, man, and both of us went on and played in high school, and it taught us a lot, man. Taught us how to grow up and be men. But I'm going to close by just letting Daryl say whatever he wants to say, and then we'll close it out.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to give you all a little insight on the Valley. You know, growing up in the Valley, it was more or less us against the world, because there was a lot of people from different areas who didn't like people from the Valley, because they always used to think that we was better than everybody else. But it wasn't a thing that we acted like we was better than everybody else. It's just that we was raised different, because majority of the people in the Valley grew up in a two-family home, two parents. You know what I mean? Your parents, both your parents work, so you basically learn different morals and principles growing up in a family atmosphere. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of places that a lot of people from the Valley couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a few older guys, like the Butch Parkers, the Popsies, and the certain families that had dudes, like the Washingtons, Lowell, Rick, a whole lot of guys who could go down the hill. You know what I mean? But those was the older guys. And then as we came along, we had to pave our own way. You know what I mean? Because I was never going to let nobody tell me where I couldn't go and go. You know what I mean? Because a whole lot of times, and we used to go down the hill, St. Catherine's, you know what I mean? St. Catherine's used to have parties on Friday nights, you know what I mean, in the bottom of the church. But sometimes we would go knowing that we would have to fight after we got out the spot, fight to go home. You know what I mean? And those was a lot of situations like that, you know what I'm saying? It was just like it was, the Valley just had like seemed like it was a special type of individual who grew up in that Valley, man. You know what I'm saying? And you stepped out of the Valley, the people knew that you weren't from down the hill. You know what I mean? It was just the way we carried ourselves. How they say now in this new millennium, the niggas in the Valley had a different swag, man. You know what I mean? And that's how we carried it. Real talk, man. You know what I mean? I could go on and on, but I just want to cut this short and just let everybody know that I'd like to give a shout out to all the Foley South all the fallen soldiers that's not here, either in prison or dead. You know what I mean? I just like to send a shout out to them and send them love, and I wish all the brothers was here. All right.
Thank you, Daryl. We love you, man.